Hey guys, this is PooBiscuits. I'm all dressed up today, not for the video, but it's because I just graduated from university. I've been studying for 5 years, and that's why it's been so busy this last year because I've got like final projects and everything. But I'm pretty happy to be done that now. So the purpose of today's video is I want to talk about Battle Camp in general. Battle Camp has been a big part of my growth, I guess, in the past couple of years. I started playing it 3 years ago, and making these videos on YouTube and interacting with you guys, it's made me more comfortable with talking with people in real life and everything as well. So big thanks to you guys helping me open up to people and everything. So when I first started playing Battle Camp, it was really fun to me because the social aspect of it was really amazing. It was the first game where well, I know there's other games online, but it's like the first mobile game where you could actually interact with other people and achieve things together, right? And there are people from all over the world as well. So, like, I've met people in real life from Battle Camp, like when I went to Toronto to meet Crane, Rosebud, Avalonite, Foo, Caitlin, and a couple other people too. And that was probably one of the coolest experiences that I've ever had because, like, these people, they play the game with me, but they're also like pretty cool people in real life as well. So yeah, that was pretty good. And this coming summer, I'm going to be going to Singapore, just traveling after graduating. So going to Singapore to meet with more Battle Camp players. There's a lot of people there. So I'm going to be meeting with Leonard, Lennon, Linus, like a bunch of other people in Singapore. So it'll be pretty fun. Like, I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty fun. But yeah, so when I first started, spending wise, it wasn't too crazy important. Like, there wasn't a whole emphasis on you need to spend or anything. If you wanted to spend, you could put 20 or 40 bucks in, and you get at least like 1 or 2 epics, like to even like to get started on your account and everything. But once they realized that people are actually spending a lot of money to get these more like rare monsters and everything, they decided to drop the spin rate down. Like, so if you think about it, 20 bucks for 1 epic, that's 25% chance to even get it. And then now it's really low. I remember at some point when they changed it, some guys spent $800, didn't get a single epic, which is actually ridiculous. And the justification for that from the developers was, oh, there's other games that actually you need to spend $2,000 or even more to even get a certain rarity of monster. But the thing is, with Battle Camp, it's actually ridiculous because if you don't have good monsters, you can't place well in events, which back then it wasn't too crazy important because you could, even with a crappier team, you could, as long as you use 5 energy every hour, like when it resets, like you go in to do your events and you just use your 5 energy. You get placed in rankings and everything, and you'll probably get, I don't know, a U-grab, a super. Ultras were a little bit harder to get if you had a weak team. But the thing is, you could still get supers and everything, right? Troop raids, you can get supers. Through the U-grabs, you can get supers if you're lucky and everything. But the thing is, right now, it's pretty much impossible to get a U-grab anyways. And even if you use 5 energy, just say you have an all-rare team, if you use your 5 energy every day, it might not even guarantee you a place in getting a super or anything. And trying to get a super through your troop raids now, because they flooded it with, or they diluted it with boosters and just like random crap that you don't need, it's just becoming more and more difficult for new players to even get things in the game, to even get started. And like last time I heard was big spenders. Like, everybody who plays Battle Camp knows about the big spenders, the ones who spend thousands of dollars on events just to place high. So for them to get started, they actually need to roll on events, roll the event grabs, get the multiplier monsters, and with that, they upgrade them and then spend money to like get their score higher and higher, get more trophies, and then place higher in events. But the thing with that is, it's not sustainable. Who is going to be able to spend like tens of thousands of dollars on a game continuously? So these spenders, they spend a whole bunch. I don't know how much they spend, probably like $50,000, $60,000, and then they're out. And then a new wave of spender comes in, and the thing is, there's no new content really. It's just the same old events recycled over and over. Like, you've got your raid events, you got your arena events, you got troop wars and everything, and you just recycle these. They might throw out new monsters from time to time, right? Every couple events, or maybe even every event, they're gonna throw out new monsters. Like, oh, look at this new design. This monster's different. You gotta have this kind of thing. But the thing is, there's no difference, and so that's number one. Like, they can throw it. Okay, number two, they can throw out new passives and everything, right? And the thing with this game is that there's no security. Even if you spend a lot of money, there's no security in this game where it guarantees that even though if you spend, your monsters will stay strong. Because back then, old passives, when we're talking about old passives like Warrior, Paladin, things like that, Warriors were far among the strongest monsters that you could get because they had the crit attack and they had defense as well, I think. I think they had defense, I forget. I think they had crit at least and increased attack. So Warriors were among the best because it could guarantee high damage if you get those crit stacks. But the thing is, as soon as new passives came out, the thing that the developer said was, which I shit talked on them because I was like, there's no way, like, it just absolutely kicks out old passives. There's no way old passives will be useful anymore. And the developer, one of the developers said to me, because at the time I was a Penny Pop ambassador, which turns out to be a pretty bullshit thing. That kind of just turned me away from even liking the game in general. Because initially we thought the developers kind of valued our input, which they seem to have, like, initially. But then afterwards it became like if we had an opinion, it was more like we're not even criticizing them. It's like we're attacking them with our criticism, which if you don't listen to your players' criticism and you call that attacking you, then why do you even want feedback in general? Like, having reviews, like, oh, give us a 5-star review. Why should we give you guys a 5-star review if we don't believe it's 5 stars? Like, do you understand me? But yeah, so I was complaining about old passes being obsolete, and they came back with saying how they had a plan for your old passives. Like, they're gonna make it so we can level it up still, because like at this point in events only new passives were gonna show up. But their plan for old passes were rerolls. Let's reroll your old passives into new passives, which is not something to boost up old passives. It's just you're swapping over. And even if you wanted to swap over to get these rerolls, like, it's so situational. I don't think a reroll has been given out in like many months. So what I do with all my old passives, right? Like, I can keep them and they're kind of useless, or I just quit the game because I've spent money, got old passives, now they're completely useless. I can quit the game or keep spending for new passives, which is completely ridiculous. Like, that is not a good game model. Business model, yes, it's a good business model because then you're like, yeah, fuck you guys, I know you guys spent money, but I don't give a fuck because we want more money, and the only way to make sure that people who already have set good teams keep spending money is to make something even crazier and stronger than those old teams, and make the old teams obsolete, so now you have to spend to get better. So that was another reason why a lot of old players quit. Like, it's not a sustainable model for the player, right? For the business itself, it is very sustainable. Lots and lots of money. But for the player itself, there's no way you can keep advancing, right? Like, for me, I'm just staying stagnant. There's no way I can keep improving my teams if, like, all my guys are old passives. Like, what am I gonna do? I'm never gonna be able to level them up because to even get an old passive, you have to be hella lucky to even get an old passives off the free spins and everything. And you have to be even luckier to have them, like, upgrade in general. So that's one of the biggest problems with the game. A big thing about the games I play, like, I play Puzzle and Dragons for one, so I'll talk about Pad for now. With Pad, there's a lot of different monsters with a lot of different playstyles, so the difference between Battle Camp and Pad is, I guess, the passives and actives of each monster. Passives, like, there's team leads and everything, right? Before in Battle Camp, it was like, if this is a team leader, then you get whatever, like, stats on the rest of your team. That's how it was before, so it was similar to Pad in that way back then. Actives in Battle Camp, you guys know what the actives are, like Snipe, right? Snipe is one of the biggest ones right now. With Puzzle and Dragons, there's many different actives. Like there's ones to swap or like change the gems and stuff. But along with that, the passives, there's an emphasis on which gems you need to clear. With Battle Camp, it was all about speed, which I really like Battle Camp PvP. I'll get to that later. But so with Puzzle and Dragons, there's a variety of different ways to build your team. Like there is a best team like scenario, but there's always different ways to build a team for different dungeons and everything. So that's why there's so much more variation with it. The only thing that Pad would be missing, Puzzle and Dragons, which is bad. The only thing it's missing is like a social aspect. That's what made Battle Camp so much better than Pad at the time. Like it was really fun because you have people to talk to and everything like that. But like with Pad, there's more variation in how you can play, how you can build, and everything. And you can keep advancing. They'll give you like free stones, which is their premium currency, like gold in Battle Camp. They'll give you free gems and everything, or the stones, and you can use those to roll monsters. And there's things where it's like 3 times chance to roll a god, which is similar to how Battle Camp says, oh, if you roll now for 50 gold, you get 3x chance. But the thing is, 3 times like 0.0025% is still a shit rate. Like Battle Camp's freaking premium rolls and everything is completely bullshit. Like it's so hard to actually get a good monster and everything that like regardless of how much money you're putting into it, you're just kind of breaking your bank. Like it's completely useless. With Pad itself, you actually get good things, like guaranteed. You can get good things, and you can always improve teams. Like there's, like as I said before, there's many different variations of teams you can play, and there's always like more and more to build upon that. And they're always coming out with like new content, new skills, and everything. With Battle Camp, it's more like, hey, here's some new skills, but since you guys are always getting rares, which do nothing, it's really useless. So how about you guys spend a couple $100 and try for an epic? Like, come on, like that's such a shitty way of dealing with new players, right? Like a good mobile game, or any game in general, would be something that actually allows you to progress without spending money, even if it's like slow. Even if it's like slow and like it takes you a long time to actually progress, at least you can still progress. And then with Battle Camp, it's just like there's no way to progress as a new player. So that's a big reason why new players shouldn't play Battle Camp. And the thing is, like, it is a good game. Like the game model itself is really nice. It's a really cool way of like taking on the gem thing, like speed and everything. So I guess I'll segue into that right now for PvP. I used to PvP a lot because comboing was really important in PvP. Like when I was playing, if you check back on my old videos, I'm not gonna link them. Like you guys can probably find it if you type like PooBiscuits PvP and everything, or you've probably already seen it. But the thing is, like back then it was really important in combos because you want to do it fast and you want to get high combo to output damage. Like if you have monsters with crit, then you want to do it quick, but make it a big-ish combo, like 8-9 combo kind of thing, so you can output a lot of damage and crush the monsters. And actives themselves weren't crazy important, except for like Invincible, and maybe if you had a swap, but Invincible was probably the biggest one because you could block a whole bunch of damage. But like, I love PvP for the fact that like, you have to be fast. Like when the pieces, like you can move them, you have to be able to move them fast. Like you see them, you start moving right. Like as soon as you can move pieces on the board, you start moving it. And like one of the best PvPers I know is Lennon, and he is extremely fast at moving pieces. And he was the top PvPer before shit went down, and then like he wanted to quit as well because of all the stuff that was happening with Penny Pop and Battle Camp and everything. But yeah, PvP was like that. And then when new passives came out and there's like legendary monsters and everything, that was like the dumbest part. I might actually link this video. It's one where I was versing Joe Caesar. So he was a big spender on new passives, and he had this legendary, like, is this giant red rocket thing. Anyways, I was comboing pretty quick. Like you could tell he was doing barely any damage. He was like, you saw beams and stuff hitting my team and it was barely doing any damage, and I killed 2 of his guys just off like quick combos and fast combos. And then with all my monsters over 60% health, his big rocket legendary guy uses sacrifice and it kills off 3 of my guys, like, or like 2 of my guys and 1 is basically dead. So like 3 of my guys almost immediately from 60% health, and that's with a click of a button. And all you have to do with new passives is just match 1, just like match 3 gems. So like 1 line, 1 line, 1 line. You just make it fast, and it just like it takes away from the whole PvP perspective, and it takes away from the whole like how pad and BC are different. So that's like a main reason why I play mainly pad now. I just logged on to Battle Camp like yesterday, and it's been like weeks or maybe like a month and a bit before, like since the last time I logged in. And I used to just go on, collect energy and everything because I was like, oh, I'm gonna use it for a big event. And the last time I used, I think I used like 600 energy on one event, and I ended up getting like 1500, which is pretty ridiculous. I think 600 energy is like $120, I think. Yeah, it's like around $120 Canadian. So like $100 kind of US and everything. And back then, $100, back in like when I was playing in our prime or whatever you could call it, $100 could get you like top 50, top 100 at least. Having $100 worth of energy and spending it on an event and getting 1500th place is kind of ridiculous, because then you have to think about like 1500 people above me spent more energy or money just to like place above me, and that's like $100, right, per person on 1500 people, and that's a lot of fucking people. Like that's a lot of money, which is actually stupid too. And a 1500 place only got me like I think 3 supers or something like that. Like I had like 1500, 1600, and I got like 3 supers, which with $100 getting 3 supers is completely fucking stupid. Like what the hell? I remember the biggest spending spree I had on an event was a winter event where the boss was a water monster. I was popping water boosters, so I think I spent $60 or $70 on that event itself, and I placed around like 70, I think, somewhere around there, like rank 70, and or maybe even less than that, like 60 or something. And then I got 2 ultras, the Bristlecrows and everything. I think, was it 2? It was something good, but like I did get to second evolve it at some point. But the thing is, like, if you compare it to now, there's not a good like way of spending in the game anymore. So that's like one of the biggest reasons why the game isn't as appealing to me anymore. Like so right now they have Zodiac leveling, you know, leveling up passives and stuff. Like I can spend as much time as I want, like trying to get these runes just to upgrade them, and then once you get the runes, you have like a chance of success, which it might fail and you gotta go again and again. You might not see a white rune for like 3 months, and then finally you get to upgrade and it doesn't work, right? It fails, and then you gotta wait another like long amount of time before you see another white rune. So it kind of like just turns me down from the game itself. Like there's no way I'm gonna progress anymore. Like I can keep making videos for you guys of me just playing and comboing and everything, and I think you guys would be okay with that. But it's just gonna be like a stagnant like type video kind of thing. Like it's just gonna be the same thing over and over, just me playing arena, me playing events and stuff, right? I might run into PvP and do some videos for you guys, but it's just like playing PvP with new passives. It's just like it turns me down from the whole idea of just playing PvP in general, because even if I combo, I'm just gonna get like screwed over by a guy with a fucking legendary and sacrifice, right? So that's kind of like where I'm standing with the game. It's just I don't really want to play it, but at the same time I want to make videos for you guys to enjoy, because I'm still pretty good at comboing and everything, and I think you guys really enjoy just watching that and trying to practice and get better yourself, right? But yeah, so like with Battle Camp, I feel like I want to quit it, but at the same time, like it is a fun like playstyle when like I know it's been taken away from the whole comboing thing, which is stupid. Like their game was about comboing, like that was a big thing, making combos and everything, and they took away from that, and it's just like the game isn't as appealing anymore, and you know, you just gotta spend and spend and spend, which is one of the dumbest things, which that's why I don't like the game anymore. So yeah, so I guess that's about the game in general. I'll go into more about like the devs and everything. So with the developers, I think the first major video that or not video like rant that I did was when Global came out, and that was with like when Stan came in and he was fighting Gansa and everything, like big spenders, right? And I made a post about just like the game in general. There's no way to do well if you don't spend money, which in itself is like really true. And I know I got a lot of flack for it, and then it was like if you want to place well, spend, and then if you can't spend, quit the game, right? That's what some people said, and which is really stupid because at the time, like, I really liked the game. A lot of people liked the game, and having to spend to actually do well in events is a huge bummer, right? And then so there's that, and then that was number one rant. Number two rant was about, I think it was about like boosters and PvP and stuff, and number three was like about freaking new passes to no passes, right? I think like yeah, and then the thing with doing that was when applications go into the Battle Camp alpha team, where you're able to test things before they're released. I applied for that, but obviously I don't get it because I'm such an advocate of just like making it more about the players kind of thing, and it was just kind of stupid because none of my points were just like not valid or anything. Like, they were valid points, and but because I always speak out in the community and I was pretty well known in like the Facebook pages and everything, as just like not talking shit about Penny Pop itself, but like just being against a lot of the changes and everything, right? And so I wasn't made an alpha like a bunch of people, which some of them I've never even heard of, but they're made alphas. Like that kind of cheesed me. I was just like, what the hell? Like I don't even know these guys, but they're made alphas before I was, even though I like play the game so much and I've learned a lot of things. Like I can critique things, changes and everything. But the thing is, they segued into more like, if you critique us, you're against us, like, which is really stupid. It's like, what is the point of an alpha team then, right? So a lot of alpha members, they actually quit the game, and they quit the team or whatever just because their input did not matter. I remember one of my friends, they were talking with the devs, I think, about a change or something, and it was just like they blew up on them, and then was like, oh, like, why are you so against our changes or whatever? You didn't even give a chance yet or whatever. And even if you suggested a change and they're like, oh yeah, we'll look into that, they're not looking into that. They're just gonna keep like how they think the game should go, which in my opinion really destroyed the game, because if you don't value players' input, or your beta testers or your alpha testers in this case, if you don't value their input, there's no point to even having that team. And anyways, they made this like Battle Camp ambassador thing, like, which you could apply for, and at the time, it was Eric who asked me to join a team, and then it was, at first it was like, oh yeah, like I'm finally part of like some Penny Pop associated like group or whatever, right? And then there's some other random people in there where they were really huge like Penny Pop advocates, like, oh, everything Penny Pop does is really good, right? Like, fantastic, never gonna go against them. And then I was still like myself, if there's a bad change, I'm gonna talk about it, right? And the thing is, when I started talking bad about it, when I was a Battle Camp ambassador, it wasn't really even talking bad about it. It was like critiquing it, like this change is bad, and this is why it's bad, and this is why it should not be implemented, kind of thing, or else like this is what needs to be changed to make it actually balanced. And the thing with that was like, because I was a Battle Camp ambassador, they said I was not allowed to do that. Like, oh, like why? Here's an example that was used. It's if an ambassador for China went to the United States and talked shit about China, what do you think China would feel like, or what would they do to an ambassador, kind of thing, right? And that was their example, which is I was like, okay, like, I guess you can say that, but like, that's like, you guys are fucking stupid. Like, the thing is, they made me an ambassador, I guess, like in their mind they made me ambassador, so I would stop doing things like that, like talking or critiquing the game or attacking them, you know, and that really just turned me off from like the devs in general. That's kind of when I gave up with like even trying to talk to the devs, because it's just like, if you're not gonna value any opinions, like whatever then. And the thing is, I was vocal on the fan pages and everything on the Facebook pages, but there's really old players that I know where they actually communicated like directly with the developer, and like thousands and thousands of times, and like they give feedback. Like these guys are really good players and everything. They give feedback and everything, but their input was not valued. Like that's why they quit the game too, because they're like, okay, like the game's gonna go to shit. We're just gonna quit now, kind of thing. Which they did get out early, which is good. But yeah, like right now, I just don't feel there's really anything pulling me into playing the game over and over again. Like I might go on every couple of days, but like back then I would go on every hour, set alarms. Like, oh, we gotta hit troop wars, we gotta hit these crystals and everything. So yeah, so that's where I stand with Battle Camp in general. Long video. If you made it here, then I guess nice. But yeah, really long video with what I want to say about Battle Camp. I really don't want to play it anymore, I guess, but at the same time, I want to keep making videos for you guys. So a little bit of a problem there, but yeah, I guess I'll try to make videos like frequently, but I'm going on vacation now. Starting next Wednesday, I'm gonna be going on vacation, so I won't be making videos for like 3.5 months. I might. I'm probably gonna upload it on another channel, which it's called Bottomless Pit. I'll just probably link it in the description below, but it's just gonna be me vlogging when I'm traveling and everything. I might make some gaming videos when I have time, like short ones, maybe no commentary or anything. I don't know if it's too dark because of the window now, but yeah. Anyways, guys, this is PooBiscuits. Thanks for watching, and have a nice day.